and the idea of cuts and what their impact would be on the VA, on my fellow veterans. I've heard talk in this committee earlier in the month about cuts to discretionary budget. Earlier this week, an article in Roll Call dug into Republicans' Issues Conference and other coverage around cuts to discretionary spending. Those cuts, I think, would be devastating to the VA, come on the backs of my fellow veterans should they hit the VA. I read your letter, Mr. Secretary, to the Appropriations Committee Ranking Member DeLauro, a copy of it here, outlining the effect of a multi-billion-dollar cut for the VA. It's a disturbing letter, to be frank. Amongst other things, a rollback to fiscal year 22 funding would mean 13 million fewer outpatient visits in the VA for my fellow veterans. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to include the letter in the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Secretary, for my colleagues and others who have maybe not seen this, could you explain as plainly as you could, how would these proposed cuts cripple and hurt veterans' care?
Well, we've seen important historic growth in our budget over the last several years. Access to benefits has increased 71% in the last decade. Access to care is increasing. I laid out some of the numbers earlier. We would worry about going back to the FY22 number, as I wrote to the Appropriations Committee, because it would lead to as much as a reduction, as much as $26.7 billion in reduced investment to us. That would, as you've already suggested, reduce healthcare visits by 13 million, that's 9%. It would increase the time necessary to process claims at VBA, and it would lead to a $345 million reduction in our Office of Information Technology for some of the technology investments we've just talked about.
Friends, this could finally be happening. President Biden and several other lawmakers are putting their support behind new plans that would provide direct relief to millions of Americans. There are several signs that Congress may soon be approving another round of stimulus checks, but this relief is likely to go out to a more targeted group of individuals. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. As of January 2021, 37.9 million Americans lived in poverty, accounting for 11.6% of the total population. According to the latest report from the United States Census Bureau, that's despite the fact that America ranks first as the richest nation in the world in terms of GDP. But many Americans fear that this number has only grown over the past 2 years. Right now, there are a lot of discussions on expanding the child tax credit payments once again. Before the crisis hit in 2020, the child tax credit provided tax filing households up to $2,000 per child. The money was paid after taxes were filed. But given the hardships that face American families in the heart of the crisis, the child tax credit was increased to provide $3,600 per child under the age of 6 and $3,000 for kids ages 6 to 17. Rather than wait until tax time to receive the credit, parents could arrange for a portion of the funds to be delivered monthly from July through December 2021. Checks hit bank accounts nationwide for $300 per month for kids under 6, and then $250 for children up to age 17. After Joe Biden was elected, he made it clear that he sees value in giving American families the money they need to feed, clothe, and house their children. His argument was supported by the fact that millions of American children were lifted out of poverty during that time. Recently, on April 8th, President Biden wrote in a Twitter post, "My budget restores the full child tax credit, which spurred the largest ever one-year decrease in childhood poverty in American history. No child should ever grow up in poverty, but it does serve as a reminder that he's not letting the subject drop." Ilhan Omar, the congressional representative from Minnesota's 5th District, also recently released a statement outlining bold steps taken by Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He wants to send eligible Minnesota families direct survival checks that expand affordable childcare options and boost K through 12 funding. Omar said the proposal would help lift millions of middle and low-income Minnesota families up. But it's important to note that Omar says ending child poverty should not fall on states alone. Given the great evidence of the success of the expanded child tax credit and American Rescue Plan's anti-poverty measures, she joins a fight to reinstate the expanded child tax credit nationwide and make it permanent. Joining politicians like Bernie Sanders and Mitt Romney, former Treasury Secretaries Robert Rubin and Jacob Lew have also called for Congress to make the expanded child tax credit permanently available to all families with limited income. Their goal is to help families meet their basic needs. For the past decade or so, there's been tension going on in Congress. How it started is unclear, but it boils down to this. Republicans have decided that the IRS is targeting low to middle income households. In retribution, those congressional Republicans have slowly cut the IRS's budget, leaving the agency with staff shortages and outdated technology. This may be changing very soon. When the Biden administration passed the Inflation Reduction Act in 2022, $80 billion was earmarked to help the IRS hire new workers, improve customer service, and update its technology. The U.S. Treasury Department recently released an operating plan for its new budget, which will be spent over the course of the next decade. It will involve hiring tens of thousands of new employees, upgrading technology, and expanding its data and analytics capabilities. Most of those new hires will be taxpayer service workers to help answer the phone and auditors to collect money from taxpayers and businesses that underreport their income. The IRS expects to hire more than 7,000 service reps and 1,500 auditors this year with the new money. IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel said on a call with reporters that the agency had hired 5,000 service representatives who had answered 1 million more calls than last filing season and reduced the average wait times by about 4 minutes. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this afternoon. Thank you, dearest friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. I will be announcing several winners in a video later today for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.